welcome back to the channel. We are here in Arizona. It's been a little bit of a hectic month or so for us. Lots of things going on, as you've seen, but we have made it out to Arizona. We need to transport our bus up to Idaho because in a few months our registration is up here. And in order for this to be housed at our storage place, it does need to be registered, but we won't have an address to register it. So we do need to move the bus. We are planning to drive it up to Idaho, but before we can do that, we really want to get it serviced because we did drive it down here from Utah, but we noticed that there were some things going on with the bus, and also like the air ride and whatnot not being functional on the seat makes it a very uncomfortable ride for the driver. So our main priority this weekend is to get it to a mechanic. Problem is that for some reason in the last few months, the bus died. We don't know if it's because the place lost electricity while it was trickle charging, and then the batteries went out. We don't know if the batteries were like no good. We don't really know what happened, but they're currently dead. So we need to get the bus up and running so we can get it to a mechanic. And if all goes well, we'll hopefully be able to tear out the seats on the bus as well. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Those are the goals. So let me go ahead and show you guys what's going on. All right, so we've got our batteries here. My dad is here with us. He is our resident mechanic, even though mechanic by hobby, not by necessarily by trade. But so what's happened is that he was testing it for voltage.
Yeah, right. So let me do this so you can see. So let me turn this off first.
That's a 13, right? Yeah.
Safety first.
Safety first. You unplug everything so you don't get electrocuted.
Big. Too big.
So the batteries have no voltage. I mean, right now. Oh, it took. Hey, Kevin, it took some voltage. It took.
Good. Look at that.
And when we came here, it has less than 1 volt. So we put it on the charger for a little bit, and apparently the battery's actually accepting the charge. So we're gonna put it on the charger for a little bit longer
And see if
it can bring it up to about 14 volts, which is what a battery should have, and see if that does the trick for purposes of getting this thing going started. Has 2 sets of batteries. I think one is a backup. I'm not sure about the whole thing with the buses.
To add to when I was buying new batteries for this, the redundancy, apparently there's 2 batteries for this. It's a 12-volt system. However, when you have a school bus, they typically make things redundant. So that's why it's got another battery backup. That's what I was told. I don't know if it's true or not.
We'll just go with it since we're not the experts.
Correct.
So part of coming into this project is that since we didn't know the reason for why the batteries died, we brought batteries. We were told that possibly changing, I don't know if it was the acid or something, some liquid in the batteries might help charge it. But ultimately, what would be best, since they're only 2-year-old batteries, is hopefully that they will take a charge, and then we can jump the batteries so that the bus will turn on, and then we'll hopefully get it to the mechanic. The whole point is to just at least get it to the mechanic. We didn't want to tow the bus, and so hopefully that will do enough to get the bus to the mechanic, and then they can let us know if the batteries are no good, and then we can decide what we want to do from there. But that is the batteries.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Explain, please.
All right, so we are now taking the bus seats out of the bus, and what we have to do is we have to have one person, if you want to pan down or tilt down, whatever it's called, to take the bus seats out. You have to take this, and then you have to go underneath the bus and take the other ones out.
Wait, what happened to the panel? I thought there was a panel underneath.
There's not a panel.
Oh, there's not a panel.
No, so the bus seats basically they anchor to the floor, and then they're bolted through.
Oh.
So they have a nut on both sides.
Oh, okay. I misexplained that. Okay, well, great. So we're having someone under the bus and someone at the top, so that, and we have one.
Free.
Fabulous. Okay, well.
17 more to go.
17 more to go. Yeah, good. So another project that we're going to try to get done is taking off the lettering of the bus because I believe it is probably illegal to drive a bus with the lettering. So we had taped it up when we drove down here from Utah, but now we're gonna remove it, hence the heat gun. So that'll be a nice tedious project.
Tip.
Tip.
Oh, no.
Pro tip.
Pro tip, as you're trying to get the stickers out, don't use screwdriver or a metal implement, because the heat gun is going to soften the paint, and unless you're going to repaint this, you don't want to.
Yeah.
So instead of that, use gift card to lift the corner, and then you can peel the thing
without hopefully scratching
you
it.
See?
It may not be as quick, but there you go.
Once you have the corner going, just grab the corner and start peeling the thing.
It'll get there. It's been coming off pretty easy once you get the corner going.
Yeah. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
See? Easy peasy. Ish.
Little by little. So that's a pro tip number what?
I don't know.
Okay.
Number 2, number 3. I don't know.
Okay.
Pro tip.
Pro tip number 75-11. When you get tired of this, hand over the job to the owner of the Skoolie. This is the best strategy. Pass the buck. Pass the boring jobs to the owners. How do you think? How do you feel about that?
It's great.
It's great? Great, okay. Yeah. Let's take this angle over here.
So I have been working on, I have a smudge. Okay, I've been working on this lettering on the other side of the bus, and it is actually proving to be a little bit more difficult than the other side, the theory being that on the other side it's being hit directly by sun, so I think the glue on the other side was actually softer. Go figure. So on this side it's actually a little bit more difficult, but we're getting there. Almost there. And let's go see the progress inside. Right, so we've been at this maybe for about an hour, and we're actually making a lot more progress than I had anticipated, which is exciting. We are actually going to be saving a few seats. If I would stop turning, we're going to save these front few seats. First of all, because we're going to be driving, and second of all, because we may use a couple seats for the bus in the end. So we just want to save a few.
Dump here, moving seats out. And they end up here. Alright, seats are out. And the bus is just being emptied out. We even got that ramp out too. Probably weighs about 400 pounds. Draining it. Hold on.
So we're here on day 2. Yesterday we had a really productive day. We were able to take out all of the seats. The bus thankfully started, which was super exciting. We just had to kind of charge it and get it to go. We took the the seats and the lift to a dump. So that was all super productive and super exciting. We were able to get, as you can see, part of the signage off. We only have the back one left. Obviously this isn't fully off, but the whole point is for it not to say school bus. So we're here today. We thought that we would take the opportunity, since we have basically a free day, is to do like the layout kind of now that the seats are out, is actually take measurements so that we can kind of start planning. And so we're here to do that, but Kevin obviously wanted to try to make sure that the bus started, and it doesn't. So we don't know what's going on. We're kind of thinking that maybe something with a trickle charger. We don't know what it is, but they're going to charge it right now, see if it turns on. And the experiment that I am proposing is that we leave it off the trickle charger to see if that's it, and somehow the trickle charger is somehow draining the battery rather than keeping it alive, if that makes sense. So we'll see. So here we are charging it again. Kevin was trying to jump it without having to charge it, but that didn't work. So we are charging it. Hopefully it will turn over. If it does, I think we're just going to leave it off the trickle charger and see if tomorrow that's what it is. We've kind of started to lay out, as you can see, the bus. And this is really good because we're kind of talking about it now, having the actual dimensions and putting this on, down on the bus. We are having to like rethink things already. So I'm glad we're doing this so that, we don't keep assuming what it is that we can and can't do. So we're having to readjust things based on where the wheel wells are, the needs of our household, and things like that. So this has been really good. I'll show you kind of so far what we've done. What we started off doing is that back here, because of my work, and hopefully I will be working while on the road, is that I needed a private office area because of the nature of my work. I need confidential space. So this back area is going to be an office, but also possibly this side area being kind of a place to maybe access like a utility closet, if you will, with other things. So we'll build it out so it's not total waste of space, and my desk will possibly be on this side. Then ideally what we wanted to do was my first idea was to have this space be our bed. And I hadn't been usually a fan of, putting a wall right up against the bed. So I wanted to have a little bit of space. So we were going to do 8 feet here. And then we were going to have split space here. I wanted to have a shower on one side and then the toilet and vanity on the other. Because with 4 people, I want to be able to have the ability to be getting ready at the same time. So we have it on 2 sides. And then the bunks for our kiddos and whatnot. And then the rest of it we were going to do was the kitchen, and we were talking about doing like maybe a split like sofa / dining area. The problem is that because of this office space in the back and the fact that I do need it, that's one of the things that must, and it's kind of one of the only things that we can't change, is that it pushes all of this forward and the wheel wells get in the way of us being able to do anything. So one of the things that we're changing and talking about is how our bed area can potentially be used, the underside of it be used a little bit different. And so what we marked here is potentially like storage area and kind of hinging the bed instead of having drawers underneath it permanently like I was initially thinking, and creating a dog space underneath here rather than having it elsewhere in the bus. So that's kind of where our conversations have led us so far already, having measured this out. So it's been really good. We'll see how it goes. All right, so Kevin charged the bus for a little bit, and it obviously turned on. So we're gonna see if maybe it's the trickle charger, I don't know, but we're gonna leave it unhooked tonight to see if that's the issue. Okay. All right, so we are here day 3, and our experiment failed.
correct. The Chico charger did work.
It did work?
Well, it did to the fact that it didn't drain the battery as much as now it's really dead. It's like not even... It's going...
Wow. Okay. So the battery is dead. We are charging it right now. So while we're sitting here waiting, we went home yesterday and have an entirely new plan than what, like a layout than what we left with. So we're going to try to see if while it's charging, we can do the layout, see how it works, try to work out some kinks, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we just kind of finished mapping out kind of roughly where we wanted things. I think we're liking our layout much better. I think before, and I'll probably go to show you guys, but we switched some things around, had some conversations about what was important and what we wanted space for, because obviously in a small space like this, you need to kind of prioritize. You can't always have everything that you want. And so we had some good discussions, changed it around. I think for now we have our rough final, if you will, layout, which obviously we're going to stay flexible because these are all kind of general numbers. We're really not going to know until you put up the framing, because usually when you put up the framing, everything feels so much smaller. Right now we're seeing everything in an open space, which kind of tricks the mind. So we're going to stay open and flexible and maybe add 6 inches here or there, which is quite a bit when it comes to like a bus situation where space is so close and so tight. Usually maybe in a house 6 inches isn't that big of a deal, but here it is. So we're going to stay open to modifying the plan when we put the framing up in the bus. But now we're pretty happy. We agree on, I think, most things, but definitely to consider things like the wheel well and other kind of things here and there that you wouldn't really consider otherwise. Usually, in a plan you have like this flat space and you think it's fine, but you do have to think about the wheel wells and things like that. So let me go ahead and show you guys what we kind of came up with. All right, before I show you guys the layout, Kevin's been kind of messing with this buzzer thing over, the sensor, I guess is what it is. Right, husband?
Yeah, it's something to the effect of that.
It's a sensor. This is the door where we had the handicap lift, that because this is a handicap accessible bus. And so we took the lift out, as you can see, but in order to secure the bus, there is this sensor right here that when the locking mechanism locks, this whole thing shoves up, which means it should shove this in. Oh, whoops. I hope I did not just mess that up. Whoops. Anyways, so it pushes that up and it should, turn off the warning, the buzzer at the front. What the new theory is that this isn't locking properly, and so it's draining the battery. So to kind of give you an idea of our new space, so we moved the bedroom to the back, all the way to the back, and we talked about this space right here between these two tapes as being kind of a office area / laundry area with 2 doors to give the privacy that I need in order to do my work. Then right here between these next 2 where the wheel wells are is where hopefully the bunks for our kiddos are going to go, and kind of maybe a play area. And as we kind of move forward, we're going to have here, on one side is going to be vanity toilet, the other side is going to be the shower. The rest of this area is pretty kind of open to interpretation for now, and we're going to be doing the kitchen on this side, and then like a bench on this side with possibly more prep space over here. So that is the current plan for our bus. All right, so we're still here kind of waiting for the battery to charge. So it's not turning over. We've been here for a little bit and it's not turning over. You can tell that it's trying, but it won't quite catch. And so we went out to get a jump starter, I think it's called, to see if that'll work. And so we're going to give that a try because the charger that we have now, I think, is 50 amps, and they were saying that I'm not mechanically inclined, so I don't understand any of this, but something about needing higher amperage to help the battery turn over to make this work. So they went and got a jump starter, and hopefully we can get a move on because we will be needing to leave here. We still have some times, but we did want to get out of here sooner rather than later because we have a bit of a drive ahead of us. So hopefully it will charge soon and we can get out of here. Oh my gosh, okay. We did it. We did it. We don't know how. I think they switched the charger to another battery to see if that worked. It did. We don't care. We got to get it to the mechanic, have them take a look at it to figure out what's going on. So we are out of here, and we'll give you an update later. Welcome back to the channel. We are here in Arizona. We have had laying things out. Such an idiot. We're gonna lay things out.
Hi, idiot.
We are here, day 3.
Day 3. Fantastic adventure.
You okay?
Yes.
So